No matter how you cut it, your life has just not been the same since March. Whether you were forced to stay home from work, homeschool your children, or simply wear a mask in public places unlike ever before, COVID-19 has turned the world upside down. Like anything in life, new problems must be met with new solutions in order to push on. As a way to lower the infection rate, businesses that require daily operations to continue are mandating that employees wear a face covering while at work. Although this is absolutely the proper thing to do in order to protect one another from spreading coronavirus, flatten the curve as most of us are aware of, face masks are itchy, uncomfortable, and they're flat out irritating. As a way to combat these problems, Mask Down has introduced its patent pending design to the market that offers full facial covering without ever touching your face. You might be wondering how this is possible, and I am really excited to share it with you. Mask Down's primary function requires the consumer to wear a hat or visor of some fashion, or really any cap that has an extended bill on the front. This is because Mask Down attaches to the front of a bill with two retaining clips, has a retractable system that is currently awaiting U.S. patent, and this is really something that's beneficial for the company and potential investors like yourself, because once Mask Down secures the patent, no other company will be able to legally replicate our system, which further expands opportunities to generate higher revenues. The transparent face shield drops down from the retracting system and remains in place, similar to how a projector screen operates within a classroom. There are two optional clips at the bottom of the mask that will allow for users to clip the shield to their neckline of a shirt in case of wind or rain, but like I said, the mask will stay down by itself. As you can see in this prototype below, you have your top two tier retaining clips that attach the retractable system to the bill. The mask pulls down the two optional clips, and the system will not come with a hat. It'll just be kind of for a universal fitting for all hats or caps. So before you jump into any market with any business, much less one that's kind of new, it's pretty crucial to understand the growth potential within that market. It was projected by Global Newswire that by 2026, the face mask industry will grow to approximately $21.6 billion. If this wasn't attractive enough, there really is no industry leader and mask provider, so this allows for Mask Down to take the world by storm. Mask Down plans to start this attempt by targeting fast food restaurants and deals that would make them the face covering provider for their restaurant. This market's pretty large. In fact, in 2018, there were 3.7 million fast food workers in the United States alone. This market is perfect for Mask Down because if you go into any fast food restaurant like, Jersey Mike's or Chipotle on the screen, but really any restaurant, their employees have some sort of visor or hat. There's also expansion opportunities in this market in the form of selling logo branded shields to restaurants. So this would be like printing the golden arches for McDonald's on a shield, or just really any logo for any restaurant. Really, this market is incredibly attractive. Especially in a time of need, Mask Down does recognize its responsibility to operate within an ethical manner. In fact, since July, there have been $77 million reported in COVID-19 related scams, according to NBC News. And because of this, Mask Down has implemented a vision statement that guides the company to provide the highest standard of medical protection from airborne viruses to protect the lives and those in which we serve. There's really two main takeaways from this statement, and that's that Mask Down isn't a provider, but rather a servant to its users, and that quality is unwavering. We're not going to cut corners to save costs, because Mask Down recognizes that safety has the potential to become its core value. So internally, there are a ton of strengths that Mask Down is really, really excited about. To begin, there's never been this kind of technology on the market in terms of face shields. It is proprietary, so with the new function of the masks, there's a competitive advantage that separates it from the rest of the field. Additionally, this market is rapidly growing, as previously mentioned, so there's going to be a high demand for face coverings until a cure is found. Like any new company, however, Mask Down does recognize the weaknesses that exist within itself. Although our masks are superior in comfortability, the traditional face shield is cheaper in price, making our product a luxury rather than a necessity. Additionally, there is simply an unknown demand for this design of mask in the market. But even with these potential weaknesses, Massdown feels it has a product well worth rolling the dice on. As mentioned before, there are plenty of opportunities for Massdown to capitalize on. To begin, expansion in other industries that wear hats, such as warehousing, possibly contract with the United States for military purposes, professional sports, really any industry that allows its or requires rather for its employees to wear hats. Additionally, marketing towards restaurants, as previously mentioned, is a great opportunity. With a retractable cleaning system, with a retractable system rather, cleaning of the shield is much more difficult than a cloth mask. You can't just throw it in the washer. But because of this, another opportunity comes with selling refillable transparent shields for the system. Outside, there are some threats that Massdown may face. It might sound bad to say, but a cure for COVID-19 would be a major threat to the demand. That's obviously what we're working towards and not something that we would want to work against, but it's natural things the way it works. Face shields weren't around much before COVID-19, and it's likely that they'll disappear once a cure or vaccine is found. Additionally, there is natural competition within the industry. Obviously, there's the N95 traditional mask, cloth mask, really anything that covers your face. So there is that threat as well. In order to condense cost, Massdown has chosen to outsource the production of its shield. Per unit, the product will cost $2 to produce and will be sold on the market for $10 each. This makes for a great profit margin and also some cushion to move on price if demand is not met. Due to the retractable proprietary system as well as its cost of competitors' products, Massdown sincerely believes that it will be able to generate enough demand at this market price. With outsourced manufacturing, fixed costs for Massdown come out to approximately $240,000 annually. Variable costs, which in this case equate the unit cost for one face shield, is $2. As shown on the graph below, increasing the quantity produced and sold also increases expenses in this venture. At a production rate of 30,000 units annually, Massdown expenses and revenues come to equal $300,000, making this the break-even point. With 3.7 million fast food workers in the United States, Massdown believes that it will be able to sell at least 40,000 units in year one, surpassing the break-even unit. This analysis is all the more reason to be excited as I am about Massdown. In order to, save the strain on your mind, I've opted not to list all 3 financial statements, but I would like to break down to some of the exciting numbers that do appear on them. So the total 3-year net income of Massdown is $452,425. In year 1, there is a loss, but it's less than $1,000, and in years 2 and 3, Massdown really propels forward. The balance sheet does balance, and it shows significantly higher amounts of owner's equity than liabilities, which is something that we are really excited about. Cash balances are positive in the company's statement of cash flows and provide a net present value over the course of 3 years of $346,000 at a discount rate of 5%. As I'm sure you're all familiar with, if a project has a positive net present value, then it should be considered. This net present value is one that, you should be grabbing your checkbooks for right now. Massdown is truly looking to become the industry leader in a market that is still revolutionizing today and is practically less than a year old. When looking at the financial aspect of Massdown, the financial statements show clear profitability, which as an investor means more money for you. Additionally, the innovative idea behind the product combined with the proprietary technology creates something that is unable to be replicated and ultimately something that companies would love to provide for their employees. We all can't wait for COVID-19 to no longer be a hot topic, but until that day comes, we can't wait even more for the future of Massdown, and we really hope you're a part of it.